What is going on, everybody? This is the Undefeated by Choice podcast, and I am your host, Matt, the Gadari Oiler. The premise of the show is to bring on athletes or anybody involved with fitness to help bring you motivation, inspiration, and good tips to be the best you. Before we get into anything, I need to thank Foley's MMA. Check them out online. Check out their class schedule. Come feel the vibe of this place. It's awesome. I'm going to thank them for opening their doors to us and giving us a home. We also want to thank myteamtrainer.com, the best speed and agility drills you're going to get for only $5 a month. Also, go check out store.undefeatedbychoice. We're not Louis Vuitton, but we are undefeated in comfort. So go check it out. Without any further ado, let's get to the show. And we are live here with Abbi Gaetano, IFBB Pro.
Yes.
So I've asked you to be on the show because you've been tearing it up lately. Every time I look at your social media, you've got a new medal on around your neck, or you've been killing it on all these shows. But before we get into that, we just got done with a little training session. It was a little different because you're nursing a shoulder injury right now.
Yeah, I am.
So we just went over some shoulder strengthening exercises that I think would be good if you want to have some fun with it. Obviously, in the fitness industry that you're in, you know how to strengthen your shoulder.
Yeah.
But this is like something fun because I know that you don't do all the traditional bodybuilding type of workouts, and so I thought you might have fun with this. So if you want to explain kind of I don't know what we did.
Well, you taught me how to throw a punch. Yeah.
It's a scary thing for a lot of people to throw a punch for the first time. Have you ever taken like a boxing class or anything?
I came here once.
Here to Foley's?
I did.
Look at that. This place is magical. Brings everyone together.
And then didn't come back. But
why? Well, I don't want to say why.
It was intimidating a little bit.
Okay. So, and we talked about that in our episode last week. It's sometimes it's intimidating, but Foley's a very family-friendly place. Maybe you just were scared.
Maybe, yeah.
I think was I here that night you came? Did I?
It was in the morning. It was like on a Saturday morning.
No, I was.
I would really like to do.
I don't wake up.
I'd like to try it again.
Okay. Well, come out after your shoulder feels better. Come out, take a real boxing class. Have a professional teach you how to throw a punch, because I throw a punch like an amateur, but I get away with it because I throw a lot of them, and so eventually one will land. But so yeah, we went over like how to punch, and then we were kind of talking about shadow boxing, how boxers have very strong shoulders and very conditioned shoulders because they always have their hands up, and that is your shoulders constantly engaged, and as you're throwing punches, you're engaging that shoulder, you're turning it over, you're doing a lot of movement to it, and it just builds up a lot of endurance in that shoulder. And with you having a shoulder injury, I want to look out for you and make sure you're okay, so I want to teach you that.
Thanks.
Do you want to talk about your shoulder injury? What happened?
Well, it's a hereditary deal.
So you got to thank mom for that, or dad?
Actually, my dad. My grandfather had a total shoulder replacement because of it. So it's a type 3 impingement of the bone. So any lifting I do, it impinges and causes bursitis and tendonitis. So they went in, scoped it out. I have 3 puncture wounds right now. And
you're sitting here without a brace on.
Yeah.
Tough?
They scoped it out, removed a little bone, removed the bursa to get to the bone, and so now I've just got to take it easy till that bursa grows back and do therapy 3 times a week.
Did they have to put you out for that surgery?
They did.
Was that scary?
Not really.
No. I don't know. I like it. Put me out. Put me out for everything. I don't care what you're doing.
The part that kind of freaked me out was the needle they used to stick right into the nerve of my neck to make my whole arm dead.
Yeah.
So it's a block. And that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, needles. Yeah, put me out for that. Don't keep me awake for needles. When I almost cut my finger off the other day, no one noticed that on the last show. Oh, it was something heroic. I don't want to talk about it. I was being a hero. Don't worry about it. But yeah, and I definitely needed stitches, and I didn't go get them. I just Gorilla Glued it.
Gorilla Glue?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what super glue's made. That's what super.
Yeah,
it is. It's got like ammonia's in it or something. They've got some sort of. It's fine. It's not infected at all. It's clean. It's super clean. But yeah, I was talking to my mom after, and I was like, sometimes I question how tough I am Like, I just don't, you never know how tough you are. But then something like that happens, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty tough. I just super glued this flap of skin down. And it was bad.
No passing out.
Nope. I just went over to the sink and held my finger out under it, and then I called my mom, and I was like, hey, you probably should come help me out with this, because it was just gushing blood. So thanks for Mom for coming and helping, saving the day. But yeah, I don't know where that came from. If I was to get stitches, I would just put me out.
I didn't even get stitches.
I don't want to be awake while they're doing all that.
Yeah.
No. So yeah. So recovery is going good?
Yeah.
So far, you said your doctor says you have 90% motion back?
95, the physical therapist, Alan Curbs. Do you know him?
Alan Curbs is.
Yeah, he's out of Layton.
Okay.
Physical therapy office, and he's really good. He's who actually has been working with me for the past 16 months doing dry needling on it, because I wouldn't go in for an MRI to find out what the problem was.
You didn't want to know what was wrong?
So, yeah, about 95%, and so we'll just keep working through it.
Do you know how much you lost because of it?
No.
What you were at before the surgery?
Well, no.
Okay.
I don't.
But that aside, you've been kicking butt.
Yeah.
You've been kicking butt. You've been going on a tear, from what I've seen. Unless those are not real medals, but I think they are, because you're up on stage holding these medals.
Yeah.
So, talk about that. Is it common that when you start winning, it just like, I don't know, your package is to the point where you can go to any competition, you just kind of keep that going, or how does that work to where right now it seems like you're just, every time you go and compete, you're walking out with medals?
Yeah, I train with Damian Segovia. He's one of the best. He's got Olympians.
Is he Russian?
Sid's like, no.
Okay. That name.
No, he's out of...
I think that's the second time I've asked the question about a Russian trainer. Sorry. I don't know
he's
the
out of
system
Phoenix.
Russians, okay.
And he really knows how to dial me in.
Yeah.
I came from a really broken down metabolism, and we had to build that up. I started competing in 2015 in June. Did not think I would ever step on stage.
You just started?
I went to a friend's competition just to watch her. I'm like, I think I could do this. And I hired a trainer. And
was that here in Utah that you had the trainer?
Yeah,
okay.
Here in Utah. And ended up taking second to a girl that was already qualified for nationals, but she wanted to just kind of do a warm-up.
Mm-hmm.
And took second place at a local show and went on to 2 national shows, and then I got my pro card. I won my pro card.
And that was, you said 2015?
That was 2016. I won my pro card.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so from your first show, do you see like, because I've been in this realm of the fitness industry for a while. I've known a lot of competitors, mm-hmm. and it's from their first show to their second show to their third show, it's a completely different body.
Oh yeah.
Is that just the norm? Like, I know going into it, you're like, I look better than I've ever looked. But then you see someone new coming in and okay, this is what they look like this time, but the next 2 times they come in, they're going to have a completely different package.
It's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, you know that. Is that because just now that their training is better, or that their body's more equipped to be able to put on that extra muscle, or to lean out even more? Or what is it that makes that big, huge transition in the next couple times?
I just think the consistency of it all. You start building that foundation of muscle, and, you're eating what you're supposed to and everything. And if you have somebody good training you, like, they just know how to bring you in. And, I've learned a lot, and on my own, there's been some times when I've, failed, like, on certain foods, mm-hmm. because it's all about what you put in your body,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
As to what you're going to look like. And it takes time. It takes time to learn your body, and what works with you might not work with someone else. Everybody's so different.
Yeah. So you say you had a broken down metabolism. Was that from a bad dieting plan with your first trainer, or just
it worked great for me. Like,
yeah. You went and took
second
place. So
I won my pro card.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really low carb.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing 2 hours of cardio, eating fish and asparagus every meal.
Sounds delicious.
Basically every meal. I think I had egg whites in the morning. But anyways, yeah. And then, eating 800 calories a day and doing weight training.
And 2 hours.
And then
of
2
cardio.
hours of cardio, you know, my metabolism and my hormones took a dive.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to hire Damien, and he was able to build my tolerance back up. My hormones got leveled out, and
So how long did that take for the balancing before you noticed a difference when you were like, okay, I feel my hormones are off or whatever, and then to the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to step on stage?
My very first pro show, I was in San Antonio, and I just didn't feel good. Like, I just felt like there was a shift in my metabolism. Like, it was harder to drop weight, to lean out. And so I was struggling mentally too. Like, it's hard. And after that show, I'm like, I got to do something different. This isn't working for me anymore. And that's when I contacted Damien, and he reversed me out from that show. And then I was able to step on stage again last April for FitCon here in Utah.
So when you're about to get ready to step on stage or in that mode, is there like you just said a cut? So what is the cut like? Because for me, I think of like a fighting cut, which is I don't think it's the same. Like, what do you do in order to cut? How many days do you take cutting, or what's the process there?
So right now I'm in my off season. I'm trying to build up as many calories as I can and start tapering off my cardio to do less. So when that time comes so I do macros. Mm-hmm. So I can incorporate all types of foods. You can have fun with your diet. Yeah, I can. And I never did that before. It was always strict.
Fish and asparagus. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm on macros. So like about 4 weeks out, he will send me a plan of what I need to eat. Based off my pictures I send, I do a weekly check-in where I'll do my routine, and he'll critique it and then send me my diet. And so, so about 4 weeks out, he'll give me a pretty strict 6-meal plan, basically eating clean, very lean meats, like 93% beef, 99% turkey, all the green vegetables. You can
have all that you want?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I like my vegetables.
Yeah.
I was a great kid. I was the best kid. I'd finish my vegetables on my plate. I love vegetables.
I don't like Brussels sprouts. I won't eat Brussels sprouts.
Oh, what? With
Those
some
are
balsamic on it and in the oven?
I've tried them always. I think my grandmother made me eat them as a kid. And
Grandma.
I can't do it. But yeah, so
day.
that's kind of how it is. And then cardio starts to increase a little bit. And, I just start cutting down.
And you do, when you say you increase your cardio, is it your HIIT workouts you're increasing your cardio on? Or are you just like, okay, I'm going to do elliptical, just knock this out? Like,
no, I do HIIT training.
That's your go-to?
Damien likes to train his athletes like athletes.
Yeah.
Where we go,
I like him already.
All out, 20 minutes, like intense, like you're dead. You shouldn't be able to do anything after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll set up a circuit and
I see it. You post it on your Snapchat or your Instagram.
Yeah.
And you have your whole little crew, and everyone's like following your stuff. And then you also teach classes.
Yeah.
And they're all doing HIIT stuff too.
So I teach at Gold's Gym, TRX, and I incorporate a lot of that same stuff in my classes.
So if you want to take her class, her TRX class, go to Gold's Gym downtown, and
5:15 in the morning, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
There you go. Go train with the champ.
We have fun. We have a great group.
So what? Like your if you had your HIIT cardio, like your favorite circuit, because I'm sure you mix it up. But if you had your favorite, like what's your favorite circuit? What's your favorite things to do that you're just like at the end, I'm dead?
Burpees. Renegade burpees.
I'm not coming to your class.
Box jumps.
I could do box jumps. I'm not doing burpees.
No?
Hell no.
I am so excited to do a burpee.
Really?
I am. I love that endurance.
Really?
I do.
You're right. It's a full body. It's excellent. It's great. And I hate everything about it.
Yeah.
And I make my people that I train do it. Everybody that I train, I make do them. But, I've never met anyone who's excited about a burpee.
Well, it's really
Do you do
weird.
a jumping jack at the top?
Sometimes.
Jump? Yeah.
Sometimes we'll do weighted jumping jacks sometimes. Yeah, it's crazy how I try not to take my body for granted as far as health, but this setback has really knocked me down a little bit and like it's made me realize a lot, like don't take your health for granted.
Yeah, You'd see someone look at you and say, "Well, she obviously never has taken her health for granted because you're someone who takes care of yourself." But I mean, but now you just say that, like, where do you think you were taking it for granted? Just the fact that you could do all that stuff before,
like,
and now that you can't, you're like,
I can get up in the morning, go to the gym, do my HIIT circuit with no problem, and now I can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get on the bike, and that's like boring.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of cycling, but on the bike at the gym, it's monotonous. It's tough.
Is.
But when you're actually cycling out on the road,
totally
there's nothing that beats that.
Yeah.
It's better than running because you get to see more.
True,
running,
because you're going faster.
Yeah, you get to fly, so you get more of the view. And I really like cycling, but it's an expensive hobby. So how much of like what you do, because I mentioned, you have your little group that you guys all get together, and you guys seem like you're all best friends and you guys are all having a great time. How important is that to you, and when you're getting ready for your first show, to have all them there along with you?
Oh, a lot. It's a huge part of my training is who you surround yourself with, their influence, because
and they're not all competitors. There's only I think there's only one other competitor
that I train with once in a while. Yeah, she'll come from Layton and come and join once in a while. Yeah. But,
so they're just your friends.
They're my friends. Yeah.
That's
awesome.
They
love it. So
because a lot of people, that's their fear, is just going to the gym because they don't have anyone to go with.
Yeah.
But I mean, and you have this goal in mind. You have this thing you want to accomplish, and the rest of them just want to be in good shape. Mm-hmm. And so they're supporting you. You're supporting them, and you're teaching them all these new things. And so it's like you see it. I mean, I don't go. I've only been early in the morning a few times while you guys are there because you guys go in at insane hours. but I see you guys are all just like so happy, and I'm like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Why are you smiling? Like, why are you smiling? But I mean, I can see it. You guys are all friends. You guys are all there for each other. You're all supporting each other. So I mean, that's huge, because especially in bodybuilding, it seems like such an isolated you like, it's all about you. It doesn't seem like it's this community thing. So that's awesome that you guys actually have built a community.
I've found a way to, because I have 3 children, I can't totally be me.
Right.
And I don't want to be. Like, what purpose is it if I can't teach others around me and help them?
Yeah.
I mean, I love to compete, and I have goals, and that doesn't change that, but it's all about helping others and building them up too. Yeah.
And you do plenty of it. Like I said, you have the class that you teach, the TRS class and then you have your group of friends that you guys work out in. So, you're definitely going out there trying to help other people, which is awesome. Because so many people, their fitness is scary to them. And so when they have people that are willing to reach out to them, or people that are willing to create a community, they latch onto that. So that's huge for people that are looking for something. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the actual competitions, because that's the part I've never been a part of. I've never been backstage during a competition. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine the insanity that's going on back there, because you've got people that are trying to cut weight, and then they're stuffing their faces with donuts, and you have people like, it seems like insanity. Walk us through backstage. So the day you show up, before prejudging, the day you show up until you walk off.
So we usually have a IFBB Pro meeting with Sandy, head judge, and she'll go over everything, give us our numbers. And honestly, at that time, like, all of the athletes have become pretty good friends. Like, we're pretty tight, especially the Masters division. Of course, I'm a Masters. I've really, I don't know. I love going to shows with Masters. It's a totally different vibe.
Masters is
35 and over.
Oh, okay.
I think they changed it now. Some of them are 40 and over now. But yeah, so it's just a totally different vibe with the Masters. It's just
they're probably more mature. They have families.
It's different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't know what it is. I try not to get in my head. Uh-huh. I just I try not to take everything in that's around me. And I have a really good book that I listen to every time before a show, and it's The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Okay. And it's an amazing book. And And I don't know what happens. I like almost turn into somebody I'm not. Like this calmness comes over me. I don't know. It's really creepy. But
No,
Amy's
like, let's dive into that, because I think so many athletes get in their heads, and so
they do.
You know, it is important to be able to go into this stressful situation and just zen out. So, what tricks besides reading the book? I mean, are you just not engaging in conversations that aren't, you know, healthy, or you're not, or what? Like, you know, don't you know, tell your husband, don't call me, or whatever. Like, what?
I actually go to shows by myself
Uh-huh.
because I like to just get in my own zone.
So Jeff's not a stage husband. He's not
no,
holding
he's
up the
not.
signs.
He's not. In fact, this last VidCon, it's like after the show is over, I have this letdown of emotion that's been building up, and I'm like, "Kay, are you glad you don't travel with me?" And he's like, "Actually, you know, I'm good.
We're
you
good.
can do your thing. I'll stay home.
We'll stay so happily married if I don't have to go backstage." Yeah.
On the pro level, though, all of the athletes look amazing, and even in national level girls, they all look amazing. And the thing I have to remember is everybody has their own thing. I mean, we all have our flaws, and you can't pick yourself apart.
Right.
You know, you're doing this for you, and you need to not compare yourself to all these other athletes, because they take you out on a lineup, and depending on what your lineup is, that's what they're going to go by, like the majority of it. Like the last couple of shows, the glutes were insane. I don't have that. But I'm not going to beat myself up over it, right? Because, it is what it is.
And you don't know if that's what the judges are looking for, right? Unless, so that's the other question. How does that work? Do the judges tell you, this is what we're focusing on, this is what we want to see, or is it just an individual preference?
It's really based upon each show is so different. Mm-hmm. It totally depends on what athletes are coming into the show, on what look they're going to go for.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's not their individual look. They look at the whole package of all the athletes in the spectrum and say, okay, so in that one they'd be like, okay, everyone's butts are looking great.
Their
so
glutes are insane.
We're going to look at glutes today.
Or if they're more lean, because sometimes you'll go to shows and they're more lean. Uh-huh. Sometimes you'll go and they're thicker, more muscular, and that they'll go with the more dominant.
Really? So I didn't know that. I thought it was each judge was their individual, because I was always like, well, now you're not really competing against anybody other than the judge, because you can have a judge that says, I don't like big traps, and you can have a judge that says, I love big traps. That's,
Yeah.
So, but that's not the case. That's not, well, you learn.
And there's so many girls that beat themselves up, and, I need to be better. I need to, do better. And yeah, you do need to. You need to work hard, but don't sit and pick yourself apart because you weren't first, second, third, or top call-outs.
Right.
That doesn't mean you don't look good. They just have this look they're looking for, and you just didn't fit the mold this time.
Yeah, and this isn't the place to do that, to pick yourself apart.
Right.
I mean, judging, having a good self-reflection of yourself and understanding what you want to work on is a very good thing. But to be there at that point, you're all the work's done. Everything that you can't do one more push-up that's going to make anything better or anything. So, like, you've already put in the work, so go enjoy this time.
And be confident.
Yeah.
I mean, the minute you step on stage, they can tell.
Yeah. So where do you get the confidence from?
I danced my whole life.
Okay, I was going to ask, how much of competing was in your childhood leading up to this?
Yeah, I danced, so I love the stage. I still get scared. I guess I like the rush. Uh-huh. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get scared every time.
Yeah.
But again, I just calm myself and...
Is it scary? Is it scarier during the competition, or is it scarier when they're doing the judging? Because they actually do the actual judging when no one's in the stands, right?
You actually can buy a ticket for pre-judging.
Okay.
And that happens usually in the morning.
Okay. But that's generally a much smaller crowd. Is that the one that's more intense, or is the big crowd what's more intense? Because you already...
I think the morning's kind of more intense.
It is.
For sure, because you're getting judged.
Yeah.
And every little thing matters.
Yeah.
The way every detail matters.
So your food, like your energy levels, are you depleted with energy when you're doing your judges? Or you're doing the pre-judging? What's your energy levels like due to your diet at that point?
They're actually fine.
They're good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
So when do you get the donuts and the cupcakes? Is that
That's
after prejudging?
That's after the night show.
After the night show.
Yes.
Oh, see, because I had it all wrong.
Except you know what though, Damien does let me have a burger and fries. In between. After prejudging, we go and have a burger and fries. Because
sometimes, like, if I feel like depleted or whatever, and then I eat like a cookie, all of a sudden my veins are popping out, and so I'm like, oh, this is the time. Like, that's the time to sugar load but that's not what they do.
Some girls do.
Oh, really?
Some girls do, but I have kind of some stomach issues. I don't dare.
Yeah.
So I just keep it very basic.
Yeah. So I remember when I was when I fought, obviously you got to step on the scale and you're completely depleted. I mean, you're in the sauna, sweating every little last drop of water you have out of you, and after I weighed in 2 pounds light, and so my coach was like, "Man, eat, just go crazy, eat what you want." And I was like, no way. If I go crazy tonight, I will feel like crap all day tomorrow. So I stayed super lean meats. I had good carbs. I had rice. Now I've gone away from grains altogether. I don't eat rice anymore. But then I did. I felt good. And I felt really lean going into the fight, but then like that day leading the fight, I just was eating Skittles all day long. So when I stepped into the ring, I mean, I looked like some superhero. I just had veins everywhere, and I was like, man, I could do a show right now. So I thought that was the mentality going.
Some
how it works.
Night shows, I feel like I'm more fuller just from
because you had your burger and fries. Yeah.
So
well, that's good. And so you've done the prejudging. You go and you're doing the night show. Is the vibe backstage just everyone's happy? They're happy to be getting through it, happy to be getting over it, and just like we've done all we can do, and now here's a chance to just show off to everybody.
Yep. And they're all awesome backstage. Yeah. We really have a good time.
How often do you have people who are like they are just falling, like they're so nervous? Because that might be the scary part for some people.
Yeah.
You have to put your arm around people and be like,
no, not on the pro level. Everybody's pretty much
everyone's ready.
Everybody's ready. Everybody knows the routine. So
when do you work on your routine? Because I don't ever see you in the middle of the gym flexing and doing your.
I do that at home.
Okay.
I have a home gym.
Because most people do that like right in the middle of everybody while I'm trying to like do my stuff, and then I just see like. And I'm like, stop it.
So
take that home.
With bikini, our routine's a little different. It's more, I say it's more like a dance versus like figure. Mm-hmm. Figure goes out and hits their poses pretty strong. Bikini, it's just kind of like I treat it as a routine.
Yeah. So you're like boom, boom, boom. It's like faster. You're not posing and holding,
it's more
but it's
fluid,
like
and you want to take your time. And I practice every day.
Yeah.
I run through it.
Okay. But you just don't do it at the gym.
No.
Thank you. I know. I see people doing it, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not the person to do that in front of. I try not to be judgy. I try not to judge people, but I can't take it. I can't take it. So thank you for not doing it. You're one of the few I would bring on here because I have never seen you do it.
Yeah.
So let's see. So dancing, growing up dancing, is that the only competitive? Is that the only competition you did? Did you do anything else? I mean, was that cheerleading? Was it the dance drill team?
Mm-hmm. And then I was on a competitive team.
And where was that at?
Tremonton. Went to Bear River.
Oh, wow. Did you know any Oilers up there?
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
That's my family.
I do.
Hopefully they were good. Hopefully they were good people. You don't have to remember their names. There was. Let me tell you, quick history lesson about Matt Oiler. There was 2 brothers. One moved to Bear River and had like 50 kids. And then the other one stayed here in Ogden and had like 1 kid. And so my family here in Ogden is super small. And then they're just gigantic, but I don't know any of them.
Yeah, you don't?
Yeah, they're from the brother that left.
Huh.
They're from the country brother. We're city folk.
Oh, yeah.
No. That's a little history lesson. So if you ever meet any Oilers up that way, I'm related, but don't know a single one of them. So don't worry about it if you don't remember them because they're not mine. They're not my kin, really. So you go to Tremont, or you lived in Tremont. Mm-hmm. And you're on the drill team, a competitive team. Was it competitive out there? Mm-hmm. Competitive team out there?
Fadels, yep. I think they still are there.
Yeah. And how long did you do that? Your whole life?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Really little. And then hit high school and did drill team.
So after high school, or did you get into college?
No. I got married right out of high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Whew.
Like, literally, I was engaged before graduation.
Tremont.
Yeah.
It's probably the smart thing
I had
to
my
do.
first boy when I was 19.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have a 20-year-old. He's going to be 21.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that. How does that feel?
Crazy.
Having a 21-year-old? Mm-hmm. Did you take him out for a drink? No, I don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that.
He's not 21 yet.
Oh, okay.
Not till September.
All right. You don't have to answer that. September? That's my birthday.
Yeah.
So there's the gap. There's your graduated, 19, married, and then you're competing in 2016. Mm-hmm. What, any competition, anything in between then, or just going to school, being a mom?
Yeah, working, being a mom. I was single for a little while. Raising 3 kids.
So there came a point where you're like, I've got to compete again. I've got something in me.
Yeah.
I've got to go do it. Like, what was there a turning point that made you decide, I got to go do it? Like, one of my guests I had on here before, he was going through his divorce, and then he's just like, I got to do something. He started training for a fight. Mine was the same way. I was going through a divorce. I was like, I got to do something. I trained for a fight. Was there something that caused you, like, I've got to get this competitive nature, I got to get going, or did it just, like, you were like, I'm bored. I want to do something. I want to compete.
Yeah, I think my kids growing up, like, they've needed me so much, and then all of a sudden they're
grown
like
up.
little adults and they don't need me as much. And it was something that I wanted to try and then fell in love with. I loved the process. I loved the training hard and seeing my body change and do drastic things. It just is amazing to me. So I think that's just...
How much into fitness were you in before you decided to do a show? Were you always going to the gym? You always were going to the gym and just testing things out, and then you're like, I really think I can do something with this.
Yeah, it goes back to going to watch a friend compete, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a try.
I had the exact opposite effect. I watched someone and I was like, I want nothing to do with that.
Well, I thought that, like, there's no way I'd get on the stage in those heels in that tiny bikini.
Yeah, I don't want to get in the bikini either.
Yeah.
No one wants to see that either.
That'd be pretty funny.
No, it wouldn't. It would be terrifying.
But yeah, and it's not even about the bikini and heels. It's the training,
right?
And that's what's fun.
Yeah.
So.
I when I lost my weight, I had a lot of people that were like, "Oh, you should compete," and I was like, there's no desire in me to do that, and I think I don't know what it is, because it just takes a certain type of person to want to do that, but I see so many people that tell me, I want to compete, and a lot of people, it's for they feel like it's the culmination of achieving some sort of body success, or body image success. They're losing weight, they're on a weight loss journey, and they decide, that the culmination would be me stepping on stage and showing off my body. What are your thoughts on that? What do you recommend that? Do you not recommend that? Do you recommend...
It depends on, there's a lot of girls that do it because they've had eating disorders and they've overcome it. And then there's girls that do competing and then form these eating disorders. So I really don't know. I think it's just totally depends on the person.
Yeah.
Like for me, I'm a very stubborn, hard-headed person. And nobody's going to tell me not to do something, or I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That's just my mentality. And so, I went through a divorce, and it was hard. It was a really hard time in my life. And I don't know whether it was, maybe it stems from that too. Like, just, I'm going to prove to myself I can do something.
Yeah.
And do it good and give it my all and see what happens.
Yeah.
So
I like that. I always, I was thinking while you're saying that, I was thinking about my mentality is I never want that culmination of achievement for me. So if I did my weight loss and I never wanted that moment to be like, okay, well now I'm on stage and everyone's looking at this, because then once that's over, what's next? Because I've seen a lot of people do that. They've done it. They've gone on stage and they've gone on the show, and then they've completed it, and then they just drop off their diet and they put all their weight back on.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they've hit that, well, I've done it mentality, and I like to have I always say this analogy I always like to say is I'm going to get to the top of the mountain. When I get to the top, I'm going to start stacking rocks, meaning I just want to keep going. Mm-hmm. So I don't ever want to to me, stepping on stage would be like, I've done it, here it is, but then now what? Is it done? And if I completed it, so what? I can cheat on my diet or, go off or whatever, or just stay healthy because it's just the right thing to do.
Yeah, and help other girls, because I've got some really close friends that have competed and have they've put on 35-40 pounds afterwards,
and that's got to be hard,
and it is hard on them. And I've watched a few of my friends struggle with that, but they finally kind of come to and drop the weight, and then they're like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
I can't believe I did that. But it taught them a lot. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine that mentality. How tough that's got to be. Because for myself, I got down to 170 when I lost my weight, and now I walk around about 200, and I am still like, man, I need to lose weight. Like I need to get back down.
In your head.
And it's in my head.
Yeah.
And I feel great, but it's still in my head that I need to lose it. So I couldn't imagine. And I'm constantly working on my body. I couldn't imagine getting to the point where like I've let my diet go and I've put that weight on, because then I think that would really be a mental thing that I would be battling. I think a lot of people do that.
I definitely do. You see yourself at 110 pounds on stage, and I'm not that now, but because of my age and my maturity, that's why I would never wish this on like my daughter.
Yeah.
Until she's old enough and mature enough to deal with it. There's so much psychological stuff going on after shows mentally, like it's rough. And I deal with
it. Because
of the weight.
Or...
Like you see yourself lean and shredded, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy to stay that way.
Right.
And I know that. But to slowly, gradually put that weight back on, it does kind of mess with you. But I've gotten to a place where I actually kind of like my curves now, like now that I put more muscle on, I have more curves.
Yeah.
And I really don't like the lean, because I just kind of look like a bobblehead a little bit. Like I do. Like it's hard to look at myself in the mirror. But now that I'm up 10 pounds, which is healthy, and maintaining, I feel like mentally now that, the more shows I've done, I stay out of my head.
Yeah. And that competitive, that competitive nature is an important thing to teach your kids. Like you said, you wouldn't wish this upon your daughter, but what kind of competitive aspect do you kind of do you have your kids compete? Are you like, hey, go play sports, go do this,
definitely.
go do that?
I want them to be
active.
Does she dance? She's a cheerleader.
A cheerleader, okay.
Yeah, and I teach my kids about eating healthy. And I remember being in high school on drill and worrying about what I looked like, and she's going through that right now.
Yeah.
And her mom competes, so she sees me in all shapes and sizes, from being really lean to putting on some weight. And she actually likes me with more meat on me.
Yeah.
So, or fat, I guess not me, but
okay, it's me. Whatever.
She's like, Mom, your butt's coming back,
Yeah.
But it's a lot of people probably wonder like how it's affected her. But I actually think it's a good thing, because I know I don't starve myself. She never sees me not eat, because I eat constantly. When I was in school, I always tried to not eat.
Yeah.
Because back then that was like, just don't eat.
Yeah.
Or eat a bagel. That's healthy.
Yeah.
So I've tried to teach her those things and to exercise. And so, I'm trying to teach her good habits.
So when you do your cheats, when you have your cheats, how often do you have your cheat? With
macros, call it a cheat.
With macros, you don't really cheat, really.
I eat something good every day.
Yeah.
Or a couple times.
What's the go-to?
Popcorn.
Really?
Yeah.
I would not.
I don't know why.
Nick, I want a popcorn graphic going at that point.
I don't know what it is. Like
I
can't go to a movie like when I'm a couple months out, because I just.
You like butter it up, or
I don't butter. I can have it plain. Like it's anything.
Any type, like kettle.
Anything.
I mean, I like popcorn, but that's definitely not my go-to.
That's my go-to. And pizza.
I think mine's hamburgers all the way.
Yeah.
I think one time you posted something about an ice cream, and I don't want to name the brand, but it's a healthy ice cream. And and I think you posted it, and you were like, "This is so good." And
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna call you out on it. That is terrible.
Did you go get it?
I've gotten it 100 times before because I'm an ice cream fanatic, and I was like, "Oh, finally I can have this healthy 100-calorie ice cream. It's gonna be so good."
I must have been in prep mode.
It is just shaved ice with like sprinkling of some sort of terrible flavor. It's every time I see someone post about it, I'm like, "You better be getting paid millions to spread that lie."
It was really good. In the moment, it was like amazing.
You must have been eating fish and asparagus for 6 months straight. If
That's
you
so
tasted
funny
that,
because my family's like, "You've lost your mind. It's not as good as you're saying."
It's really not. It's really not. And I'll see competitors mainly, and they'll be like, "I finally found this delicious ice cream," and I want to.
Well, you're gonna have to tell us. You're gonna have to tell me when we're off air.
Okay. I want to get on. Like, no. As someone who respects ice cream, the sanctity of ice cream, how dare you even call that ice cream? I get kind of defensive. I lived across the street from Far's Ice Cream for a while in those apartments, and I would pull out of my driveway every day and just look at it.
It's not Far's.
No, Far's is definitely not healthy, and it is delicious. And so, yeah, I would look at it every day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not fair. I need to move. I can't live here. I cannot live here and see that every single day. So I wanted you to bring up this ice cream, but I'm glad you didn't because I don't want to say the name because who knows, one day they may sponsor us. If they're paying me, I'll tell everyone how good it is. I sell myself to the ice cream devil. No, it's and that's the. I think that's the hardest part is really finding your place in dieting because so many people are just like, well, I can't have any flavor because if I have flavor, that means it's got fats or it's got this, it's got that. And that's why I do like macros because it opens you up a lot to be able to have freedoms.
I have so many concoctions, it's not even funny.
That you make up yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you post about them.
Do I?
I'm not like the biggest Instagram stalker, but you post quite a bit, and I think you post pretty good meal stuff. And I'm not a chef, so I eat a big omelet every day, a giant omelet.
Yeah,
that's my meal.
Eggs and oats.
So, eggs and oats.
Eggs and oats. You get the salt and then the sweet, and you kind of mix it together. That's like my meal one in the mornings.
Really?
That I just love.
Okay, and then what? You throw blueberries on it?
No,
just eggs and oats.
Oats with cinnamon and stevia.
Let's do this. Take us through a day. Take us through a diet day. Yeah.
So I wake up.
Your diet.
I do. Meal one is egg whites, a cup of egg whites, and 40 grams of oats with cinnamon and stevia. And then I use this salt that's called mixed up salt. And I buy it by the case on Amazon.
I've seen you post about that. Follow her on Instagram. Put her, Nick, right here.
Seriously, Amazon. Right I have an Amazon problem.
Here's your logo. Now you chop it. Chop it. Thank you. Got it, Nick. That better have exploded. Sorry. I gotta give Nick something to do. He is just bored back there. Yeah. Okay. He's into it. He's so into this. Okay. Back to your diet.
So meal two after the gym, post workout, I'll do more oats and eggs and add a full egg. Get some fats in there. And then I'll do meal three. I'll stick to my lean meats, do a green veggie and like a half a cup of rice. And then 4, 5, 6, I'll do egg whites before bed.
Just egg whites?
Yeah, just to have.
So pretty much every meal you're having a carb other than your very last meal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's where like for me carbs sit so heavy in me. Any little carb I feel like I just hold on to forever. So for me, I don't like carb high diets, and I can function off low carb diets pretty good. And I do.
Like how many carbs do you do a day?
I don't measure anything. I don't measure anything.
I mean, mine aren't.
I'm just a renegade.
Way high.
I just go.
Because I actually do
better. You're measuring it out.
Yeah.
But still, just to have a few every meal. I think even that little amounts every meal for me. My body does not react to grains and oats and things the way that other people's do. I feel very lethargic and down. So, there's no, I every time I hear someone that says, this is the diet, everyone needs to do this, that's obviously insanity, because everyone's body's different. Totally. Everyone's body reacts differently. And that's so important for anybody trying to lose weight or anyone trying to get into fitness is try things out and see what works for you.
Like dairy. I can't do dairy.
Yeah, I've dropped dairy out.
And I didn't my first show, I was eating dairy, but this judge told me once, he's like, what's your blood type? I'm like, oh, I need to find this out. So I started looking into it, and he actually recommended a book about what to eat under your blood type, and it makes so much sense.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's true. Like everybody's so different. That book that kind of changed my way of thinking too.
I think thinking about it, I would probably love the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would not love that. Or like a keto diet, but I just don't, I have, when I lost my weight, I probably did not do it the most healthy way. And so I've really just gotten to the point where I eat pretty strict, and I do restrict myself from things, but there's nothing I say that I'm not going to have.
Right.
So if it's the weekend, I try to cut grains out, I try to cut oats out, but on the weekend, if I want some Indian food with rice, I'll eat it, and I'm not going to regret it. And obviously a lot of people do that. A lot of people have that cheat, or they have that thing. But don't regret it. I mean, like, this is your body, and you're supposed to enjoy it. You know?
And you want to work with your body, not against it. And if you're constantly fighting it, it's gonna fight right back.
Yeah. And if you really find what works for you, then it's okay to have those moments where you're having something that maybe isn't the best for you. Like I said, I cut diet out, but every once in a while I'll go get some real ice cream. Yeah. None of that phony stuff.
Me too.
None of that phony stuff. All right, we're getting to the end. We got good on time. I think we're gonna do the triple threat throwdown now. So Nick, throw that up, and then hey, are you watching? You know what to do with that. All right. So going back to we'll do one diet question. If you could have one cheat meal, I know you said you don't call it cheat meals, but that's what we're going to say for the sake of the segment. If you had one cheat meal that literally just would not count against you, like you could eat it as much as you want and it wouldn't affect you at all, what would it be?
Pizza.
Pizza? Mm-hmm. You could just eat pizza all day, every day. Any certain type of pizza? Thin crust, thick crust?
Thin crust.
So, like Lucky Slice?
Yes, I love Lucky Slice. In fact, we just went last night.
Yeah?
Jeff and I did, yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
Next time we'll go.
I'm in town. I'm around. And Jeff's kind of my friend. So, I'm just saying, thanks for the invite. Actually, I wasn't in town last night. Next question. If you could live the life of any celebrity, who would it be?
Pink.
Really? That's a great one. That's excellent. I just heard about her being in town not too long ago, and everyone just said, like, people who were running into her outside the show were just like, she's the nicest person ever. But what is it about Pink that makes you want to live her life?
She's just such a badass. Like, she is amazing. Just a hardcore good woman.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Fair enough. I like it. And the final question. What's your favorite radio show?
97.1. The morning show.
That's a good one.
The Zoo.
That's a great show. We say this because Nick works for a rival radio station than Abby's husband, and I told her she couldn't bring Jeff because I didn't want him and Nick to fight. So, but I wanted to rub it in Nick's face because I'm friends with Frankie. All right. Well, Abbi,
messages on your.
Before we cut out, do you want to talk about your sponsors at all?
Yeah, amazing sponsors locally here. GNC Jensen Nutrition in North Ogden and South Ogden. They just opened up their third location out in Elko. They're awesome. And then Max Performance, they do equipment.
Oh, they have that ab roller.
They do. Have you tried them?
Yeah, Jamie's had me do it on her Instagram a few times.
I have them
and
too.
I couldn't do abs for an entire week after it. And
Those ab rollers are amazing.
I did it once, and then a whole week came by, and she had me do it again. And so I had 2 weeks where I did 2, and then I was done for an entire week.
Yeah.
So that's a legit ab workout.
And
you only got to do 2,
I
folks.
haven't been able to do it.
You only got to go do
2.
2.
Yeah, quite yet. But they're good too for like leg stuff, the rollers. So yeah, Max Performance, a local company here. They make everything here in Ogden.
We'll get the link. We'll get the link, and we'll put it right here so that they can see Max Performance. And because they are a good company, and yeah, they do make some really good equipment. They have a lot of like the cable attachments.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just bought the ab rollers from them, oh my goodness, it's intense.
Yeah, use the code ABS15 to get a percentage off.
Get yourself a little discount.
Yes, and then I also train with Pro Physiques out of Phoenix.
We'll get their link up too. We'll get all that. Nick, you can send it all to Nick, and then he can put it all anything that we promoted. Also, don't forget to show up to Gold's Gym at what time in the morning?
5:15 a.m.
I won't be there, but she will be there.
I'm actually going to start a boot camp class. It's going to be a 12-week program starting in June.
So come on, Gold's Gym, the downtown location in Ogden, Utah. She'll be there. Like I said, I won't. It's way too early.
You should come join our HIIT.
That's too early.
It's going to be like I think 8:30 or 9.
I'll be at work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how we get out of everything. You work 70 hours a week. That's always your excuse to get out of things. So, last thing before we go, Nick actually wanted me to bring this up. Maybe it's because it's something he wants to know about for himself. He wants anybody who's trying to build their metabolism back up. They may have damaged it, maybe eating disorder, whatever. Is there any jumpstart way or a good way to start to build your metabolism back up, or is it an individual thing, or how does that work?
You have to gradually do it. Hire someone that knows what they're doing. And Pro Physiques has an amazing online program, and they have really good nutrition people that can help. Yeah, you just have to go slow. It's a long process, but it's works.
Important.
It is important.
And I think a lot of people like myself, they did that massive weight loss and they didn't do it the best way. I wouldn't be surprised to find out if my metabolism was messed up. And I wouldn't be surprised to find out a lot of things I did to my diet because I did it so drastically. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat. So go check out, get a professional, Pro Physiques. Any a professional, get it taken care of, and take care of yourselves. All right, Abby, again, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Great.
That was fun.
As always, be good to yourself. Be good to each other. I love you. All right, that's all we have for you. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to check out us on all our forms of social media. Don't forget to like and subscribe, to check out all other videos, and to go check out the website.